Hey everybody, it's me, Gregor Mannarino, back for my post-market report for today, Friday, December 29th, 2017. Actually, this is my last post-market wrap-up for the year. It is the last trading day of 2017. A lot of stuff I want to talk about. I'm actually going to make some predictions as to what we're going to see here in 2018, so I am personally glad you are here. Let's cover the market action today first. Epic bond buying today. I posted a snapshot of the action in the bond market today. Absolutely incredible. Like bonds were going out of style, or debt was going out of style. Go look at the chart on my website, traderschoice.net, right under the chat room. It's frankly unbelievable. Despite that, all three major stock market indices closed in the red. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finished with just about a 100-point loss, despite the fact that today, I'm going to say it right here, on the Confederacy of Dunces show, you know what I'm talking about, they were believing that this market was going to put on like a 1% gain. You know, they're cheerleaders. They can't have you thinking that maybe something is wrong here, people. And again, with all that propping up that occurred in the bond market and stocks could not gain traction, that says something to me, especially going into this long weekend. Monday, by the way, the stock market is closed. So, I will not be doing a market report on Monday. I'm not saying it's going to be my last video, because every time I say that, I find myself out here. Look, if there's something that happens geopolitically, or there's something I want you to know about that I think is important, I'll do a video. But barring that, you won't see me until Tuesday morning. So, let's talk a little bit more. The U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar has been destroyed this year. As a matter of fact, it's kind of funny. In the video that I did earlier today, I explained to you what was happening to the dollar. Over the past 2 weeks, the dollar has gotten slammed. This has been the worst year for the dollar in a decade and a half. And it's not going to stop here. And I really despise the fact that the mainstream financial channels are still trying to fist feed you that the Fed is in control and the Fed is going to, has 3 rate hikes next year, maybe even 4. If we get 1, it'll be amazing. However, there's a little twist to that, and I want to cover a little bit further here. So look, the U.S. dollar, for you dollar bulls out here, I'm sorry, you had a very bad year. And it's kind of, I think, the theme moving into next year. We're going to cover that. So look, if I had to pick one need to watch thing that's going to occur next year, that is this: inflation. I think we're going to see inflation really pick up moving into 2018. Again, the Fed cannot raise rates. They're going to be forced to keep rates suppressed, buy bonds just like we've been seeing for as far as the eye can see. Now, there's always the possibility of this, and I want you to consider what I'm about to say, because I've been talking about it for the longest time. Something called money velocity. Okay, that's the rate at which cash is moving through our economy. All right. If, for example, we start getting a repatriation of cash because of President Trump's tax plan, this is a double-edged sword. A lot of people thinking, oh, this is going to be the greatest thing on the face of the earth. But what that does mean is this cash is going to start to move. If money velocity starts to pick up here, whether it's through GDP or repatriation of funds, there's a potential to unlock a floodgate here of cash that's all over the world, flooding back to our shores. Now, think about that. What would that mean? All this cash being repatriated, coming back to our shores. Well, you're going to have all this cash out there chasing the same amount of goods. What does that mean? Inflation. You got it? So there we go. I do not believe that economic growth is going to be so profound that it's going to be able to absorb this. So let this ponder around your brain a little bit. Ponder what I just said, and you can see why I am saying that the theme song for 2018 is going to be inflation. Now, with that said, in a real market, we've seen what's happening to gold and silver. Although I despise these things and they're not real, they've had some very nice gains over the past couple of weeks. I always tell you, bet against the debt, become your own central bank. My two key premises since day one. Now again, this all goes back to that money velocity thing. We are near historic lows. Cash is not moving. You cannot have an economic recovery without cash moving through our economy. Tax dollars aren't getting collected. I mean, there's so much fallout from having money velocity that's frankly in the toilet. So we need to watch this, and I mean very closely moving forward. What does this mean for other assets? While I'm on this 2018 prediction thing, we're probably going to see, let's ponder this too, and I'll try to make it simple. Weak dollar, suppressed interest rates. What does that mean? A higher stock market. Stocks will continue to inflate until they don't. Understand, none of this is real. The market, and even if you were to turn on the Confederacy of Dunces or some other channel out there, you're going to get some honest people telling you that this stock market is overvalued, it's stretched, it's due for correction, for which we have not had one in, I can't remember the last time. It's actually historic. We have gone the longest stretch in history without a 5% correction in this market. It's absolutely due. Does it mean it's going to get one? Absolutely not. We're going to ride this wave into next year. Now, so knowing what I am saying here is more than likely going to come true if you just understand the dynamics behind this. You and I are going to use their game against them. We're going to keep acquiring precious metals. You know that's where I think you need to be if you're not a trader or an investor in this market. Bet against the debt, become your own central bank, period. Inflation is the theme for 2018. I am certain of this. Stocks will continue to move higher until something acts against it, some geopolitical event, or maybe, the debt bubble, which continues to inflate, reaches a critical mass and decides to burst. I think these world central banks who have been unbelievably crafty, keeping this whole thing afloat here, are going to continue to do that. We're going to see a lot more issues with regard to deficits, with regard to debt, with regard to borrowing more from the future. Forget about any of this ever being paid down. It cannot happen. It's the nature of the beast. The debt-based economic model demands that we continue to borrow cash from the future in greater and greater amounts. If that means they need to start another war or find a reason to borrow cash into existence, they're going to do it just to keep it going here. And that falls right back into money velocity, like I was saying. So what does that fall back into? Inflation again. So for those of you out here, if you can see what I wrote back here, that are dollar bulls and you're waiting for the dollar to turn around, you're going to have a long wait. I'm going to tell you right now, just based on what I have said, it should make sense to you. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that hard of a concept. Let's move on to cryptocurrencies. I think we're going to see some rise, and I think we're going to see some fall. Bitcoin is going to go where the futures want them to go. It's the tail wagging the dog. It can't even be argued ever since it opened up on the CME Futures Exchange and they were bidding it lower, just like I said would happen to the letter. It has fallen. If you notice, CME Futures are being bid up here with regard to Bitcoin. So I would expect Bitcoin to at least move higher in the short run. We'll see what happens moving forward. There are many other cryptocurrencies that are not getting any coverage, anything. You know how I feel about these things. I happen to believe in Steem, S-T-E-E-M. Why? Not just because I'm holding some. I got like a $66,000 investment in Steem. You can look at it yourself. Go to my Steemit site, click on my wallet. You can see what's in there. I have not invested one single dollar in that. That's just from posting. I could convert that into a cryptocurrency and then into the US dollar if I wanted to. I have no interest in it. Frankly, I don't even need the money. It can sit there from now till doomsday. I don't care. I do believe in the platform. Steemit. I think it's the future of social networks. I think we're going to see more of this moving into 2018. More platforms that are backing a cryptocurrency that have nowhere to go but larger, in my opinion. Facebook is crap. All these other nonsense things. I mean, when you're paying their CEO to get rich, pay yourself. So there, I think that's going to happen as well here. I really do believe that's true. So pretty much, I think that sums up what I think is going to happen moving into the new year. It's pretty simple. Watch the dollar repatriation. Watch that money velocity. Inflation is coming down the pike here. Now, earlier in the video, I said the Fed might get into trouble a little bit, and here's where it is. Pay attention to this, please. If we start getting this money velocity moving faster, this is what President Trump is promising: repatriate cash, get our economy going. If the cash starts moving, we could face a moment here where we get a rapid rise in inflation. What will that mean? Pretty simple. It's all cause and effect. The Federal Reserve will have to raise rates faster. All right, that's the only scenario I can imagine where the Fed will actually have to raise rates more frequently than not. If we maintain an even keel where we are right now, one rate hike next year, two in the abstract, but we'll see how that plays out moving forward. And remember, you're looking at a guy here who has the best, and I'm not just tooting my horn here, the best record of anybody that I know of, period, even on the mainstream or alternative media, who has called the Fed more right than me. I've been wrong one time or one time only. I mean, that record is phenomenal. So let's use all of this, people, to our advantage. We are not, you are not going to be fleeced under this guy's watch. I promise you that. That is my promise moving into 2018. We're going to rip this market's face off like you have no idea moving into next year. I have had a phenomenal year trading. Probably the best year I have ever had. I mean, you do not need to be a rocket scientist to capitalize on this market. That's only going in one direction. So I think that's what's going to happen going into next year. And I've been very transparent with my trades. I've been explaining to you what I'm buying, where I'm buying them, calls, puts, posting this on my social network so you can get in on this if you want to. Take advantage of all this, people, seriously. And personally, I think on my website, traderschoice.net, is everything you'll ever need to rip the face off of this market or stay on top of what's going on. Even these videos can be viewed right on my website. You can watch my videos while at the same time watching the bond market chart, Bitcoin, gold, silver. There's even a free stock analyzer there for you. Everything's right there. And I really hope you're taking advantage of that. Moving into 2018, traderschoice.net. It's all free. Free! So if you're not utilizing that resource, there's something wrong with you. Anyway, I think I pretty much summed up everything here with regard to cryptos. People are fanatics about this these days. Bitcoin as well. I've covered that in fact, so accurately this year from when it hit 2,800. I told you exactly what it would do. I told you what it would do when it started trading on the futures exchange, and it followed what I said to the letter. Still doing it, by the way. You got to start looking for alternatives as well. Forget Bitcoin. Look at other cryptos here, people. Up and comers that's another. I mean, like I said earlier, prediction for next year. Some are going to rise, some are going to fall. I'm not saying Bitcoin's going to fall, but it's gone nowhere right now. Why would you want to be stuck there right now? I personally wouldn't, and I am not. So again, I'm going to leave you off with this. Inflation is the word moving into 2018. We'll see if I am right about that. Anyway, it's going to be fun to refer back to this video, let's say, at the end of next year. With that said, again, this is my last post-market wrap-up for 2017. And really, people, I mean this with my entire being. I love all of you, and I care about all of you. And I want all of you to love and care about each other moving into next year. Be careful over this weekend here. A lot of crazies on the road with New Year's and everything like that. So I think that should be the premise also for us to understand that we are responsible for each other. Don't let them divide us. That's all they do. By every measure, by age, by race, by color, by religion, by every socioeconomic class. I mean, look, we're all on the level here. We're all on the level. That's where we meet, on the level. And don't let those who believe they are your masters rule you. That should be another theme moving into 2018. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you go. You might not see me again until next year, which happens to just be next week. Anyway, again, I love all of you. Thank you for being there for me. I promise you I am there for you, and I will have your back even more so next year than this one. If I can pull that off, I absolutely will. See ya next year. Bye.